Welcome back to TechVibes. Today we're fixing a PS5 HDMI port not working issue step by step. Place your PS5 on a flat table with good lighting so every cable and port is visible. Make sure your PS5 is fully powered off before touching anything. Unplug the power cord from the PS5 to avoid any signal or boot interference. Now unplug the HDMI cable from the back of the PS5. Carefully inspect the HDMI port on the back of the PS5 for dust or debris. If you see dust inside the PS5 HDMI port, use a soft brush or compressed air to clean it gently. Do not use metal tools to avoid damaging the PS5 HDMI port pins. Now check the HDMI cable you removed from the PS5. Run your fingers along the length of the HDMI cable to ensure there are no bends or cuts. Look at both ends of the HDMI cable for bent pins or damage. If the HDMI cable looks damaged, replace it before continuing with the PS5. Now plug a known good HDMI cable back into the PS5 HDMI port. Make sure the HDMI connector is pushed in firmly on the PS5 side. Now plug the other end of the HDMI cable into your TV or monitor's HDMI input. Make sure to note which HDMI input you're using for the PS5. Turn on your TV and switch to the HDMI input that the PS5 is connected to. Now reconnect the power cable to the PS5. Press the power button on the PS5 and observe the indicator light. If the PS5 turns on but still no display appears, stay patient for the next step. Power off the PS5 again by holding the power button until it beeps twice. Wait until the PS5 completely shuts down. Now unplug the power cable from the PS5 again for 60 seconds. This resets the PS5's display handshake settings. After 60 seconds, plug the power cable back into the PS5. Now we will enter the PS5 safe mode for display troubleshooting. Press and hold the power button on the PS5 and do not release it after the first beep. Keep holding until you hear a second beep. The PS5 will now boot into safe mode. Connect your PS5 controller to the PS5 using the USB cable. Press the PS button on the controller to activate it in safe mode. On the safe mode menu, select Change Video Output. Now select Change Resolution. The PS5 will restart automatically. When the PS5 turns back on, it should adjust to a compatible display mode. If the PS5 HDMI port not working issue still remains, return to safe mode. Again, enter safe mode by pressing and holding the power button until the second beep. Go to Change Video Output. Once more. Select HDCP mode. Choose HDCP 1.4 only. And confirm. This forces the PS5 to use a compatible signal for older TVs and monitors. Let the PS5 restart and check if the display returns. If you now see the PS5 home screen, the issue is resolved. If the PS5 HDMI port not working issue persists, try a different HDMI input on the TV. Switch the HDMI cable from HDMI 1 to HDMI 2 or HDMI 3 if available. Now power cycle the PS5 one more time. Turn off the PS5 and unplug both power and HDMI cables. Wait for 30 seconds before reconnecting everything. Plug the HDMI cable back into the PS5 firmly. Plug the power cable back into the PS5. Select the correct input on the TV for the PS5. Power the PS5 back on. If the PS5 display now appears, you're all set. If no display still, the PS5 HDMI port may be physically damaged. A damaged PS5 HDMI port may show loose fit or wiggling when the cable is inserted. In this case, the PS5 HDMI port may require a replacement. HDMI port replacements on PS5 require soldering and professional repair tools. If you are not comfortable with hardware repair, take the PS5 to a trusted technician. Before leaving, double-check cables, ports, and settings one last time. Thanks for watching TechVibes. Like and subscribe for more PS5 repair guides.